So in my last video where I had gone through and inspected the bees, I had promised a garden update video. That video is not going to happen for quite some time. We have had an event here that I wouldn't wish on anybody ever. Last Saturday, we had a house fire. The fire was from a heat light for a chicken brooder that I had set up inside. And because of the smoke, I wasn't home. We were gone for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But because of the smoke, we did lose our dog and our mama kitty, and we lost the chicken that was in the brooder. It was a chicken that had hatched late. The mom was broody. She was sitting on it, and then she decided she was done. But it still hatched like 3 days after she had gotten off of the brooder. So fire department came. They removed the items that had been on fire, sprayed it with water, checked a little hole in the ceiling over where the couch was, and said it was out. At 6 o'clock Sunday morning, I woke up to a pop, 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 pop sound and thought somebody was lighting firecrackers 6 o'clock in the morning. And that wasn't the case at all. It was our ammunition going off, because when I came outside, the whole entire house was engulfed in 60-foot flames. Called the fire department. Some of my neighbors had already called, so they were already on our road by the time I had called for them to come out. The reason I'm making the video, number one, is just because we've had such an outpouring of people just coming to help, and it's been so humbling and so overwhelming, and just want to say thank you to everyone who has come. But also because I want to really make people aware, like, don't use the heat lights. There's other options for heat source for chicken brooders, and I have done it 100 times. Raised chickens with the heat lamp. You can go buy them at Tractor Supply right now. I literally took a picture of one yesterday at Tractor Supply. The red heat bulb's right next to it. Here's the heat light. Boom, boom. They're right there. You can buy them. They make these heat plates now, and I would just recommend doing it another way. I am going to show what's left of the house. It was our main house. We have lost everything, as you will see. Fire is no joke. It is a very devastating thing, and I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my house, like, as I'm sitting here doing this, I'm looking at it, and it's very devastating, and it's been a little over a week, and I'm still struggling with emotions and everything, and it is not something that I would wish on anybody. I'm from Florida. I can handle hurricanes, I can handle floods, I can handle water, wind damage. Fire is evil. Fire takes everything and doesn't ask questions. It consumes. And what had happened was, obviously they thought the fire was extinguished, but there was still something in the attic smoldering. We think it was in my daughter's bedroom in the ceiling, because that's where it looks like the hottest part was. And it just the fire department opened all of our windows. I didn't know to close them because there was so much smoke and soot in every room that I left them open. We were going to come over the next morning. They said to leave everything in there for insurance purposes, because then your adjuster has to come in and take pictures and you have to see what's damaged. And I just didn't take anything out of the house. On a very bright note, well, part of it's bright. My eldest, Jonah, made a stupid decision and ran into the house. We have a side door that went into the boys' bedroom, and he ran in there and grabbed out his bearded dragons. Both of them are perfectly fine. No burn marks, no soot damage, no inhalation, no nothing. They're actually perfectly fine. The fact that he went into a burning house to get them is like, what? You don't do that. Everybody knows you don't do that. But he did, because they mean the world to him. And we lost Gabe, and I can't talk about it, so I'm going to skip over that. And we lost Mama Kitty. Mama Kitty was our 18-year-old Hurricane Katrina rescue kitty. She was a drop-off. She was dropped off pregnant. She had survived being run over by a car. She had survived drinking antifreeze. She had gone through all of her 9 lives. And then the guinea pig, that's our family guinea pig that is very, very loved, is Peanut Butter, is very, 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 just very important to us, actually was in my daughter's room. Her cage is floor level, and my daughter keeps her door closed. So even though smoke had gotten in there, it had kept it to a point where she had not passed from smoke inhalation. And they carried her out like this, and then she was upside down, and I was just like, oh, I said, is she gone? And she moved as the firefighter was shaking his head no. And I'm just going to tell you that the amount of just sheer happiness at that little creature being alive and being brought out of that house was just amazing. So I grabbed her cage and carried that out. We went and bought new bedding for her, new food. I didn't bring any of her food or anything. We just the cage part of it to, keep her in. And she's been to the vet. I took her to the vet. Amazing vet. They got us in so quickly. It wasn't going to be until the 13th, and they ended up getting me in like on Tuesday of last week. She had the smoke inhalation damage was worse on her right side than it was on her left, and we did a series of, they did give her oxygen at the vet. The fire department did not, but they did at the vet, and they gave her a bronchial dilator, an anti-inflammatory, an antibiotic, and then a probiotic. So she had a series of meds that we had to do. And she had her checkup this past Tuesday, and the vet could hear her lungs, and everything was fine. So she's doing much, much better. Just as feisty and spirited and eating and drinking and all of her normal activities. Like, she's completely returned to normal. So that is a bright spot in all of this. I do want to share this just because of the sheer fact that just be safe on your farms and with raising your animals. I know people who even put the heat lamps in their outdoor animal cages, and it just doesn't take much. They do generate a lot of heat, and it doesn't take much for them to spark a fire. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around. I'm going to put my boots on because I do want to go inside. It's a small house. It's not much to see. Of course, now it looks even smaller with everything gone, but and I'll just show you what we're going to be demolishing. And then, of course, I would like to, go through the whole documenting the rebuild process, because we are going to rebuild, and it's going to be a long process. Now, not that I'm done with the garden, because we're not done with the garden. The garden and the bees and everything is okay. I lost all of my seeds, and I'll show you the container. It's in the front yard. It's a melted mess. So I have to now order all of my seeds from Baker's Creek again. Luckily, we have a feed store downtown. I had a lot of seeds from that feed store, and I'm able to go buy more, but we just got to start over. And we're so very, very blessed to have so many people in our lives who love us. So many friends and family members have come out for us and just been here, and it's so heartwarming. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. There's absolutely no way that I can ever repay you for your generosity and your gratitude and your heartfelt hurt and love and just everything that you felt for us. There's just nothing that you can do to even express it. And it's truly so very appreciated. It's not something that I would have. I've never known anybody to go through this, and I wouldn't want anybody to go through this ever. So just thank you very, very much from the very deep bottom of my heart. I can't even say it enough. We're so grateful to all of you and just so appreciative. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around, go get my boots on, and then we'll just start at the front of the house because that's the only way that we have access to the inside. As I'm putting my boots on, this is what I've been able to remove from the gun closet. I don't know if you can see. That used to be an AR-15 that we think is the 30-06. And then the boys' hunting rifles, being that their stocks were plastic, all that's left are those pieces. All right, so our insurance has been really amazing and has responded really quickly. We have already gotten a dumpster delivered, so that's good. So we're going to start some demo this weekend and some cleanup this weekend, so that's why I'm making the video now. Not that I was emotionally ready to do this, but I did want to make this so everybody could just know and see. So this is what originated the fire. The chicken brooder is what's remaining of it is right here. Right there is the bottom of it. And it caught the couch on fire because of the proximity. And then this is what burned and caused the smoke. The smoke from these, just rubber cushions and everything is what killed Gabe and Mama Kitty. Not fire. They were not burned from fire at all. So this was extinguished. Oh, look. Huh. My garlic starts. I didn't even know those were there. There's my dragon. One of my cabbage seeds. So they took all of this out and the school books out because they didn't want it to reignite. It reignited in the attic. And I'm just gonna say, if you don't want to watch this, you don't have to watch it. You could totally cut it off. So this is what's left of our little concrete block house. This is what's left of my seeds. I can't even get them out. That was my planter that Steve had just made me. We had just gotten all of the inside to where we were talking about making the outside look like a little cottage and how we were going to do the front porch. And so this was our front door. And this is, I actually had some canning. Steve was building me a cabinet to put here. Some of my cream corn, all of my canning stuff is buried under there. My cans of vegetables. And I'm not even going to try to save them. We had a dining room table here. Well, a table. 6 tall table. Steve, I got it at Wood U, and he had painted it. And we had a bar, you know, in the kitchen area that he had done the same thing with. So this is the living room. That was our fireplace. Here's a big cast iron pan, and my mom's Corningware dish actually is still in complete tact. This is my daughter's, what's left of my daughter's room. The reason we think it was here is because the char here, it just looks like it burned so much hotter in her room, and it burned down. It burned from the attic down, and you'll be able to see that in some of the soot marks because it didn't reach the floor, like it didn't go all the way down. So this would have been countertops. My stove was here. I don't even know, like there's just so much. This is the stove, that's the dishwasher. That was a pantry, that was the refrigerator. That was my grandma's china. So just a lot, just a lot. This was our TV. That's the fireplace tool holder thingamajigger. The crockery pots that I had that were from the 1800s, they shattered. This was the fireplace mantle. It's complete char mess. And you can see where it burned there before it fell. This was a nice big open window. This is what remains of one of our couches. I don't know what that metal thing is. They threw stuff around. There's our coffee table. That is a family Bible that was 150 years old. I have to go through. My mom said there's a rose in there from my grandma's grave, so I got to go through each of the pages and try to find it. This was going out to the back door. We don't have any power, so I don't have to worry about these wires. They pulled our meter the first time. This was our AC closet. This was the guest bathroom, I guess you could say. Kid bathroom, whatever. I mean, we only had a 2-bathroom house, so yeah, it's pretty well demolished. Ah, my caboodle from the 1990s is gone. He melted. This was the boys' room, and it is completely gone. Everything in here is gone. There's a huge old cable. I don't even know where that had to have fallen in from the roof or something. That water heater was in the attic. Of course, it fell through. This was Luke's bed, and it is totally gone. And then our room. That was our bathroom. Actually, some of the stuff in there is still whole. The cabinet door was closed. I opened that the other day just looking. There's the bathtub, and TV fell, like my mom's wedding album. They threw the dresser over because they had to put the fire out. There's my honey extractor. So, just to give you an idea of just how all-consuming it is, I'm going to go ahead and go back out. It just stinks. Fires is not fun. So there's my house. We're not homeless. We have some place to stay. People have come out. Like I said, they've just been so great. It's just very overwhelming. I think once we start getting this cleared out, things will be better. Excuse me. And it just won't be there. You won't smell it. It won't be this looming thing. But just to not end on that note, just to not even end this video there, I'm going to come over here. And yes, my bee yard is still a mess. I have not gotten over here to clean anything up like I had planned on doing that weekend. But all of the bees are doing good. All of the hives have so much activity. They're all over the Spanish needle. That's why we haven't, cleared out any of our weeds, because weeds feed bees. But yeah, they're doing great. Haven't checked that super to see if they're using it, but last trap hive, they have a lot of activity out that front door. And the mean girls over here. Start calling that the Regina George hive. But you can look over here at the Spanish needle if you look real close, and you can see bees buzzing. Getting on from the flowers. So I'm going to end this video here. And thank you for watching. Thank you everyone for checking on us and reaching out. And I will keep everybody updated on the status of what's going on. And just again, thank you. I can't even tell you all enough. Thank you so much for all of the support and just love and just everything. You cannot even put it into words how grateful we are for all of you. So thank you so much, and thanks for watching. I hadn't even gotten to read this book hardly at all or put it into practice. First time gardener, growing vegetables. This is what's left of my book. I can't even save this. It's not even savable.